So Sumit and I are now going to talk about all the tools that you will need to solve problems and learn as you go into the journey of being a BA. A major job of a BA is to be a facilitator. So you'll be in a lot of situations where you have to get people on the same page, facilitate conversations. So we want you to have the right kind of tools and techniques to be able to do that.
And what we've done is we've curated 3 decks, which have a number of methods that you can use to facilitate conversations and decision-making. Now, the big thing to remember is that choosing the right set of tools is an art in itself. And that's going to be dependent on the problems you're trying to solve and the context that you're in. But if you look through the description of this video and the course materials, you find the links to these decks. Most of the tools are in this format where you have a descriptive image of what the activity or the tool can look like. And on the flip side, you will find a description of how to execute the activity or how to use the tool and what the output can look like.
Yes, so we've given you the cheat sheet. So please go and refer, but do remember that you need to choose wisely.
Indeed. And so let's talk about our favorite books. You've got 5 and I've got 5.
Yes. So one of my favorite books is User Story Mapping. It is a beautiful way in actually telling the story of what you're building from a user's perspective and a great way of visualizing that so that everybody is on the same page. The next book is Inspired. It really inspired me to build great products. I actually happened to attend a workshop by Marty Kagan sometime last year. Talks about continuous discovery and delivery and how can that happen in the future in the quickest possible time. If I'm ever opening a company, I will refer to that again. Value proposition design is a beautiful way of matching your what is your product offering with what do the customers need, and it's a great framework to apply if you're ever in that situation. Sprint, I guess most of you would have heard about this. This is a tool by Jake Knapp where they test, the entire team gets together, doesn't deliver anything, but they just test multiple ideas in just 5 days, and then they decide on a particular solution for a problem. Understanding design thinking, lean and agile. So we've already overwhelmed with a lot of these buzzwords and concepts going on. But how do we exploit the power of all these 3 methodologies, which are, and make the best use of all of them is what this book is all about. It's more from a process perspective. And Johnny Schreider is actually a ThoughtWorker.
Yeah, and so is Jeff Padden, actually ex-ThoughtWorker.
Ex-ThoughtWorker, yeah.
The good thing about all of these books is they're really short reads, many of these at least, and you can read them on an airplane if you had the time. Let me go with my 5. So my favorite book, probably not my favorite, but one of my favorite books is the Non-Designer's Design book. It gives a good rubric to a non-designer such as me as to what good visual design can look like. Having said that, I'm also a very visual person, so I like frameworks that help me solve problems with other people in a visual manner. And the back of the napkin is one of those frameworks, which I think you'll really enjoy. Speaking of frameworks and tools, Innovation Games is, again, one of those collections of tools that you can use and pretty much cheat with. So you can always pick one of the tools that's talked about in the book and apply it into a customer context. Similarly, Problem Solving 101, that's what we do as PAs. We solve problems with our clients and with our teams. And so Ken Watanabe, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right, ex-McKinsey consultant, gives a really simple framework of how you would go about solving problems. And last but not least, there's the Lean Startup, which is a great way to get your mindset into the whole build, measure, learn kind of cycle and get yourself and your clients into a place where they are thinking about testing out hypotheses before you've burned a lot of money onto a product that nobody needs. So there's 10 books right there between the 2 of us. And what I want to tell you right now is that this was a trick slide, because we're not even saying that you need to read all of these 10 books. It'll get really overwhelming if you took everyone's recommendations and built.
And these are just 10 books based on whatever paths and career path that both of us have chosen. And I'm sure if you go and ask other BAs in ThoughtWorks, they would give you another 20 books to read. So again, take it easy, pace it out. You don't need to read all the books in one go. Decide where is it that you want to grow, which direction you want to grow in, and then choose the book wisely.
And build your network.
Yeah.
Find out what you want to learn. Take your time.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll see you in the next segment of this course, which is about describing problems.